Measures of central tendency in grouped data. Data can be classified as quantitative or numerical data and qualitative data. There are two methods of obtaining numerical data. Discrete data can be obtained by counting, that is, marks obtained by learners writing a test. Continuous data can only be obtained using measurement. When we work with numerical and continuous data sets that are large, we will find that there are certain elements of data that will occur more frequently. In such cases, we group the similar data elements into equally spaced groups called intervals and create frequency tables. The measures of central tendency can also be determined for grouped data. Let us explore these concepts in a greater detail using an example. A cell phone company took a survey of the amount of time in minutes that a group of 209 grade 12 learners spent on the social networks in a week and recorded below. Calculate an estimate of the mean. Calculate the modal interval. Calculate an estimate of the median time spent per week by the learners. What do the modal class, mean, and median tell us about the time spent on the social networks? Solution. Observe the data that has been organized in the form of a frequency table. The inequalities in the first column denote the class intervals. The second column denotes the frequency. To calculate an estimate of mean, we need to calculate one value that represents the entire data set. We calculate the midpoint of every interval and denote it by x. For the first class interval, x equals 30 plus 0 over 2. Therefore, x equals 15. Similarly, midpoint of the second class interval is x equals 50 plus 30 over 2. Therefore, x equals 40. We can continue in this manner and calculate the remaining values of x. We will now determine the product of the midpoint of the class interval and the frequency f. F times x for the first class interval is f times x equals 5 times 15 equals 75. The second value is f times x equals 12 times 40 equals 480. Similarly, the other values can be found. Since we have calculated the f times x values for all the class intervals, we can proceed to estimate the mean for the given table. Mean for the grouped data is given by, let us calculate sigma, f times x, and n for our data set. N can be obtained by adding the frequencies, but in this case, we know that the sample contained 209 learners. Sigma, f times x, can be obtained by adding the values of f times x, obtained for all class intervals using a calculator. X bar equals 90,29 minutes. The modal interval is defined as the class interval with the maximum frequency. In our data set, we can see that the class interval 70 less than or equal to x less than 90 has the maximum frequency. Therefore, the modal interval for the grouped data is 70 less than or equal to x less than 90. Median is the midpoint of the interval in which the middle term falls. Since 209 grade 12 learners were surveyed, the middle term is the 105th term. Let us find the class interval where the 105th term falls. We count down the frequency column to determine the 105th term. Therefore, the estimated median of the data is the midpoint of this class interval. Estimated median equals 70 plus 90 over 2 equals 80. Modal class denotes that a majority of learners spent an average of 70 to 90 minutes per week on social networking sites. Analyzing the data set, we can say that mean is a better representative of the data than the median, because there are sizable numbers of learners in the 90 to 130 minute range, which is increasing the mean value to 90 minutes. Both mean and median lie in the modal class 70 to 90 minutes. Hence, the data is well distributed.
Need more help? Subscribe to our channel. Can't wait that long? Ask Mesky to help you and let the math finally start mathing.